Shalom everyone, this is Amir. I'm still in Europe, heading back to Israel in just a few hours. Interesting development in the Middle East. Reports that we're getting right now from the White House and from people that are sort of close to the decision-making figures in the Pentagon and the White House. From reports that we get, U.S. President Donald Trump decided to withdraw completely from Syria, all American forces, in the immediate time, which means days or maybe less than that. And the announcement, according to the sources that I have, the announcement has already been given to all the American allies in the region. And that might explain to all of you why Erdogan is planning a big military operation east of the Euphrates. Ladies and gentlemen, America is about to withdraw from Syria completely, leaving the whole place to Russia and to Russia's allies around. Turkey already announced that it is intending to have its own military operation east of the Euphrates. And by the way, when we say that, we talk about fighting the Kurds. And when people ask the Americans, why are you withdrawing? The Americans are saying, look, we fought ISIS. We were there for ISIS. We fought ISIS. ISIS is almost completely gone. Therefore, our time there is up, and we need to leave. This is, of course, a very bad news for Israel, of course. But of course, we can't expect America to be everywhere around us. Israel will continue to operate all by itself when it comes to defending itself from the Iranian entrenchment in Syria. However, you and I know that we cannot fight the Turkish entrenchment in Syria because the Turks are not officially saying that we want to destroy Israel. They're not officially feeding Hezbollah with weapons and all of that. So we're finding ourselves in a very interesting situation where we are having America leaving Syria, Turkey coming into that open void, and the Iranians feeling that it's time for them to do whatever they want because no more American forces are there to block them from coming all the way from Iraq into Syria. So Syria is, of course, setting Ezekiel 38 on motion in a very interesting way. And it's very, very interesting development. It is a very alarming thing for Israel, but for us, the believers, it's something that we already know. We've known about it. It's written in the Bible. We're not surprised. But the timing is very interesting. The timing is very interesting. I'm not going to try and analyze why President Trump is announcing that now or is about to announce that now, but I can tell you that sometimes when you have problems at home, it affects what you do abroad. And very, very interesting. So, folks, I just came live on Facebook to let you all know that reports that we're getting right now are that the U.S. President Donald Trump decided to immediately, completely withdraw from Syria, all American forces from Syria, which means east of the Euphrates. And by doing so, he's going to basically leave Syria completely in the hands of the Russians. And we already know that the Turkish president announced yesterday that he is intending in the immediate time to start a military operation east of the Euphrates. What does it mean, military operation? It means that he wants to fight the Kurds that are now controlling the oil and the gas reservoirs and fields east of the Euphrates. Again, They all want to have the spoils of Syria. I don't think Russia will allow Turkey to take over. The Russians forever tried to get a hold of that part. America and its allies did not allow Russian private military people to cross the Euphrates. The Wagner military group, America did not allow them. And this year, in the beginning of this year, there was almost a massacre that the Russians came in massive forces, and more than 600 Russian troops died. And of course, this is a private military force that the Russians never admitted that any of their soldiers died. But again, the Russians are interested in the spoils of war in Syria, and once they're done with that, they'll move on to Israel. And so, folks, again, sources are telling us that the U.S. President Donald Trump decided to withdraw all of the American forces completely out of Syria in the immediate time, which means within days. The allies of the U.S. Were informed of that, and again, the whole stage is being left to Russia. Russia will completely control Syria and allow, of course, Iranians and Turks. The Russians don't have enough forces to stop the Iranians or the Turks from doing something there. It's going to be very, very interesting. So I'm just saying we have to be excited as believers as we can see things unfolding. But Israel is, of course, there will be a lot of lights that are not going to be turned off in the corridors of the Israeli military headquarters. Israel needs to recalculate its route. We have to try and see how we can find new ways to stop the ongoing Iranian attempt to entrench themselves in Syria and bring forward more and more rockets that will be able to fly towards Israel. Again, tension is rising as we hear reports from the United States that President Donald Trump decided to immediately withdraw all of the U.S. forces from Syria. Not that Israel relied on them in its ongoing day-to-day fight against Iran, but it was always good to know that the Americans are not too far away. They're just on the other side of the Euphrates. This is a tactical move on behalf of the U.S. president. I believe it has a lot to do with what is going on back at home with the Russian Russia collusion investigation, and the fact that starting from January 1st, you're going to have a Congress that is dominated, or at least the House that will be dominated by the Democrats. It's going to be hard to pass legislation there, and therefore all of that probably led him to make that swift move and to concentrate on domestic problems such as the wall with Mexico and other issues within the United States. So again, ladies and gentlemen, the United States is about to announce its full withdrawal from Syria, and by doing so, America will leave Syria completely in the hands of Russia. The Russian president already said that America may have started well in Syria but became an obstacle for peace. They just said it a few hours ago. In fact, in order to encourage the Americans to leave. And of course, we all know what the intention of the Russians here. Again, the eastern flank of the Euphrates is the richest part of Syria, where the gas and the oil is located, and that is exactly what they want. And again, the Turkish president Erdogan decided, he over the last few days, he already announced that he's intending a military operation east of the Euphrates. American president called him. Most likely during that phone call, President Trump informed President Erdogan that he's about to withdraw, so he better wait. And last night, Erdogan said, I'm still planning on going into eastern Syria. And that may have to do with the fact that he wants to be the first to get there before the Russians, once the American troops are completely out. This is an exciting thing for me. As you all know, I always believe that God is the one who keeps Israel, who helps Israel, who fights for Israel. He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. That's what the Bible says. And as I said before, the whole Ezekiel war is a war that is for God to show himself, not for any other country. It's for God to manifest his power and also his protection over Israel. If God didn't care much about Israel, he wouldn't come and help and save Israel from its enemies. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I want you all to pray hard. We see things unfolding, we see things happening, but it's our job to make sure that everybody around us is waking up to understand how short the time is and how ready the church must be. I am excited. I know that the Israeli military is not excited. I know that the Israeli government is not excited. I know that the Israeli people are not excited. But as a believer, I look at the Bible from a completely different perspective. I see God in action. I see things happening as God promised. I don't just believe in specific events. I see the whole picture. And I know that in order for Russia to come against Israel, America cannot or should not be there for Israel. And again, a great step towards that is going to take place in the coming days once America will withdraw its forces from Syria. So I just wanted to update you folks. I will keep you updated. I'm flying to Israel. I will be there over the weekend to not only teach in my own church, but also teach on Sunday evening here on YouTube, by the way. It's not going to be Facebook. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe on Behold Israel and turn on the notification bell. I'm going to be live on YouTube giving a message unto us a son or unto us a child was born. But if there is something to report about the situation in Syria, I will do so even before that. If not, wait until Sunday evening. Again, I'm calling all of you, subscribe to Behold Israel on YouTube, turn on the notification bell so you'll know when I'm on. When I'm live, I will be live, not on Facebook, but on YouTube this time, 8 p.m. Sunday, Israel time, to give you a message. Again, for those of you who just joined us right now, breaking news. Official sources are telling us the U.S. President Donald Trump decided to completely, officially withdraw all American troops from Syria in the very coming days. The sources are telling us also that the allies of the United States were informed of that move. And the sources are also telling us that it will be a very swift withdrawal, and it's not going to be spread over weeks or months, because the problem is that when ISIS is smelling that you're running away, ISIS is basically hitting you hard. And so the idea is to get out of there as soon as possible. These are not good news for Israel, but for all Bible believers, we know already that America should not be there when Russia is coming against us. And last thing you want to know is that one more major player in Ezekiel's war, Turkey, has already announced as of this morning and of last night that they intend to enter eastern Syria and to have their own military operation there, most likely against the Kurds. Iran will definitely take advantage of this situation and continue its ongoing entrenchment. Israel might have a hard time responding to it. Things are going to escalate probably, but again, God is in full control. 2,700 years ago, the prophets already heard about it from God and wrote about it for all of us. So we shouldn't be surprised. I'm just excited to be alive today, to be alive in these days. It's going to be very, very interesting. Why is President Trump withdrawing his troops from Syria? We don't exactly know. The official reason is We were there to fight ISIS. ISIS is almost completely over and done and gone. Therefore, there's no point for us to stay there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few days. But again, I want you all to be prayerful, not prayerful for Israel. You know, God is going to intervene on Israel's behalf. I would be more prayerful for all of my friends and family that are non-believers, because these are exciting times, but also times that we have to understand that our gathering to be with the Lord is closer than ever. And this is very important. Yes, people are asking me if it's bad for the Kurds. It is bad for the Kurds. It is very bad for the Kurds. I hope that Erdogan is not going to massacre them as he did before, and he's very angry with them. He doesn't like them at all, and I hope that America will take care of them somehow. But these are not good news for the Kurds, and of course for Israel as well. But the Kurds are the main target here for the Turkish army. So I just wanted to update you. And again, I wanted to tell you all, folks, if you want to listen to my upcoming teaching, it's going to be on YouTube. So subscribe to Behold Israel YouTube channel and turn on the bell notification so you can be able to watch it. Folks, again, before I end up this very urgent message, to those of you who just joined us, President Donald Trump is about to announce the full and complete withdrawal of the U.S. troops from Syria. And it'll leave Syria completely in the hands of Russia, and Turkey already intend to go in to fill the void. Also, Iran will continue even more easily now to move into Syria, and Ezekiel 38 is just around the corner. So I'm not going to say to the believers, pack your things, but I will tell the believers this is the time to more than ever before speak out the gospel and share with everyone you can. These are exciting, exciting times, not maybe for the Israeli military or government that is a little bit worried about it, but I can tell you, if you're a Bible believer, you know exactly that Israel is not going to have to lean on anyone but God, and God is the only one that will come and rescue us. So that was a quick notification of the situation right now, and I pray that you will find more information if you want later on. Again, follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you. Shalom, and God bless you. Bye-bye.